All right, a happy Thursday. Hopefully everyone's doing great. We are in the confines of Thomas and Mack Arena. I'm sitting actually on a stairwell because it is challenging to find a quiet place here in the Las Vegas Summer League. And I wanted to do a video on certainly the extensions in Oklahoma City. There might be random people walking down these stairs pretty soon. So we're going to do the best we can with this video just to get it out. Because I know there are a lot of questions regarding the extensions of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, and certainly Chet Holmgren here, and how it is going to impact Oklahoma City moving forward. Certainly, we live in a world of aprons, and now when you see the Thunder commit, nearly $800 million in extensions, it automatically brings a red flag as far as what is going to happen next for the roster. And I think it's important to kind of lay out as far as where we are. A little bit about the extensions. When we announce extensions, they are projections. They're projections based on where the salary cap is. I know that the numbers come out, but it's based on what the projection is going to be in 2025, 26, or certainly with Chet, Shai, 2 years from now, which would be 2027, 28. The most for Chet and Jalen, it's 246. 7%, that's based on a 10% projection. Certainly, Jalen can earn a little bit more because he's got some escalators in his contract. We'll wait and see what's going to happen there. With Shai, it's 285. It potentially could increase to 293. The cap, as we have seen it, is going to grow projected 7%. That's where we get to 239. It potentially could go to 246 if it is see, now we have somebody walking up to. That's okay. We're good. I've already warned everyone that we're gonna have people walking. So it could go up to 246 if the salary cap increases 10%. Here's why it's important to focus on 3 players, 26 years or younger, under contract through 2030, 31. That is unprecedented when we're looking at max level type players. 13 first round picks in the next, I had 14, but I added one by mistake. 13 first round picks in the next 7 years. The sustainability as far as to keep on replenishing with young players. When you look at certainly the revenue stream that is coming into Oklahoma City, when you look at a new arena, when you look at the new TV contract, we potentially have expansion. This is a Thunder team that ranked in the fifth lowest in payroll since 2020-21. So basically all that savings is now going to go towards where this roster is going to be. Will Oklahoma City be in the second apron next year? Most likely. Will they be a luxury tax team? Yes. But the apron rules are designed basically to eliminate some of the resources that you have to kind of add from the outside to add to your roster. When you have your core 3 players under contract, along with Alex Caruso and Kaysen Wallace and Kenrick Williams and Lou Dort and Isaiah Hartenstein, and you have 14 or 15 players under contract, that basically eliminates those, what the league is trying to do as far as teams getting fat and going out and make trades here. When you already have a group that's under contract for the foreseeable future, the apron rules are mitigated here. The apron rules actually help Oklahoma City because it doesn't allow some of these higher market teams to go from 0 to 10 and make these high risk trades or high spending trades to go out and acquire talent. That basically is eliminated here. Will eventually we see different reiterations or iterations of where the Thunder are in 2 years from now? I would say probably. And I think that's the nature as far as where things certainly are, as far as where we live in a world with changing rosters. I think a good example, and I said this on NBA today is the 90s Bulls, right? We saw 2 different versions of the 90s Bulls. We saw the 90s Bulls with Jordan and Pippen, who were the constant players. And if you look at Oklahoma City, constant players are Shai, Chet, and SGA. And then we had the 90s Bulls where it was the second group, when you had Rodman to that group, Steve Kerr, we had Horace Grant, we had a lot of different versions as far as where Luke Longley, a lot of different versions as far as Ron Harper. As I said, different. And I think that's where you're going to see probably 2 years from now with Oklahoma City. We live in a world right now where it's like mini windows, we call it, right? It's that 2 to 3 year windows as far as how teams are going out and building rosters. The day and age of having a team for 5 or 6 years, it's really just not sustainable here as far as your core 14, 15 players here. But what the Thunder have done, and they're different than Phoenix and some of these other teams who had older players on these 35% max contracts. They've got two on 20, as Brian calls it, Windhorse, the fun max. And I do think they're in really good shape. We actually have an article coming out next week we're going to talk about the aprons a little bit here and take a deep dive into some of these teams and take a broader lens as far as where they are here. But I did want to do a video and just talk about it. We talked about it at NBA Today. We're going to go on Sports Center in a little bit to talk about it here, that if you're a Thunder fan and you saw what happened in Boston, you're like, oh my God, it's just going to happen to our group if we lose in the second round next year. Your core players, your main top 3 players, and we can also add in, whether it be Alex Caruso or Casey Wallace or Lou Dort, but your core 3 that just got extensions, man, for the better part, you are stuck with them through 2030, 31, which is certainly a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have too, especially when you have 3 players under 26.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like, how do where I pull up long range, no, Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire, it's NBA on the ESPN time.